This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. So now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Welcome to a Friday afternoon edition of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. As you heard earlier, a thunderstorm is advancing on the Cap City. So again, beware. We'll keep you updated. If we get interrupted, it will be from the National Weather Service letting you know what's going on weather-wise, as we will here too. Our program today being brought to you by Taco John's of Cheyenne. Also, Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, where they are serving up breakfast 6 days a week in addition to their delicious lunches and dinners. Key of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank ×2 on Vanda High, the original location, and at the corner of College and Pershing, Platte Valley Bank. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body, the Auto Glass and Detail Center, which you will find over on Pershing Boulevard. Of course, the auto body shop for autos and trucks right there on Dunn Avenue with a plethora of bays. First Tier Bank, 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet D in the Greenway Commons. The Wyoming Montana Safety Council, which you can reach Tim at 635-4592. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. I know we are still in summer, and we can talk about getting those air conditioning units looked at. Pretty soon, we'll be talking about take a look at the heating units. And, of course, we always get things underway with our scoreboard, and it's brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne. We'll go over to Nick, and we already know what the answer is to that question. What's on your scoreboard there, pal?
We got a scrimmage going on, at least underway right now, with LCCC men's soccer as they are down at the Colorado School of Mines. That contest at least is underway right now. So it's a scrimmage. Does it mean anything? Not really. Again, it's not towards any at least official record for the men's soccer, but they are down in Colorado right now in scrimmage action. So there you go.
Major League Baseball getting underway. While we'll be on the air, it will be the Mets and the Phillies at 4:05 today. 5 o'clock games will have the Red Sox hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. The Blue Jays will face off with the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. The Nationals at home to host the Marlins. Cubs and the Pirates at PNC. Orioles will face off with the Indians at Progressive Field. Great American Ballpark will have the Giants taking on the Reds for this evening. Rockies will continue their series at SunTrust Park in Cumberland, Georgia against the Bravos. Angels, Rangers at Globe Life. It will be the Royals and the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago. Target Field has the Twins hosting the Tigers. Brewers and the Cardinals will hook up at Busch in the Oco. How about this series? You want to talk about one of your biggest series on the weekend. Astros and the Athletics for maybe first place in the Western Division of the AL West. Matter of fact, Astros leading Oakland by 2. Dodgers and the M's in Safeco for tonight. It will be the Diamondbacks and the Padres at Petco in the 8 o'clock hour. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
You're listening to Cheyenne's new Sports Talk Authority. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. We took the day off yesterday. It was Nickster's birthday, so we let Nick have the day off. But also, too, a bunch of stuff arrived and unpacking it and going through
Not
it.
a bunch of stuff, but one main component at least coming up for
Yeah, but you're
the high school broadcast. But again, not going to announce anything.
But no, but also too, you're checking on how this is going to work, and then you're saying, Dad, I need to do this, and you need to get this, and so we were that one,
Monday should be the grand.
I know, but
finale.
that one main component led to 2-3 other things that we need to get taken care of. Right,
Again, last minute, yeah. As
So-
it's starting up next Friday.
Next Friday, can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? School doesn't even start till the 28th.
It's the reason why they call it Week 0.
I understand that, but it's just amazing how earlier the football season begins, which means
Obviously, we just to avoid snow, especially over there in Laramie with the state tournament, or at least
it
state
don't matter.
championship.
They're going to get it.
Obviously.
They're going to get it at the state tournament. Very rarely is it ever sunny and nice. I think it's like on the first day when they have the 2A and the 3As. I do believe going.
I don't know.
But anyway, and then the Saturday one for the big guys. It's usually cold, windy, snowy. But
But what would we know here in Cheyenne? It's been, quite some time?
it's been
3 years?
Let's see.
Because again,
about
Sheridan
4 years,
back to
about
back,
4 years
yeah.
now.
So
So hopefully we can get those fortunes turned around again. New era under Mike Apodaca at Cheyenne Central, of course. Chad Goff, the second longest running tenured coach here in Class 4A, as he will be putting his team together. As we also heard too. And we confirmed it with athletic director Jerry Slabs that a very important move-in to.
I
to
guess
Cheyenne.
I really don't know much about Rock Springs, or
Well,
at least of how that team
last
did.
year's freshman quarterback. Again, they were more of a running type of ball club. They threw the ball only when necessary.
Well,
And again, this kid is lightning quick. So he was their quarterback last year. So his family moved into the East District. So
or at least moved to Cheyenne.
well, yeah,
not
but
necessarily East
well, yeah,
District, who knows?
yeah, he has to be within the boundaries. So
Does he, especially
Yes,
in this city
yes.
where we've heard
yes,
things
he
of
has to be with
a
with,
South player goes to the East, or come on now.
it doesn't happen anymore. So anyway, he's within the East boundaries. So he's playing football for Cheyenne. He's as a sophomore this year. I don't know.
Not guaranteed to be a starter or anything like that. Again,
Yeah,
that's up
yeah,
to Coach
and
Goff.
it's not like he's. He might be battling for the quarterback position. I don't know. We haven't been out
Again,
to camp.
we'll see once we get rosters. Clearly, again, we won't see East until week, or at least week 2, week 1, however you place it. But again, the second game of the season. Again, we won't see East until when they will be at home taking on Casper Kelly Walsh. So again, right now, all we have is the information of that they did have a good transfer. Again, he is a athlete, whether it is football or at least any high school athletics. Again, a young sophomore QB, at least now with Cheyenne. So,
Yeah. So anyway, so you got Apodaca.
again, not going to assume anything, but it is.
Apodaca starting his first season over at Cheyenne Central coach Goff again, who's now into double digits in his coaching career at Cheyenne East, and the coach, of course, Coach Gallus in his third season now with the South High Fighting Bison. Again, a lot of rebuilding for the Fighting Bison, but you know the good thing is with that program, and again, it's still in its. It is in its infancy.
I mean,
but it's a growing program. More and more kids are coming through the system. You know,
how much longer can you use that as, not saying an excuse, but at least a little placeholder for Cheyenne South, especially where, again, a lot of the athletics are trying to move in the positive direction. You saw at least soccer last year finally get their first ever win. Again, we seen with boys basketball, and that goes also to credit to Jim Schaefer, who is now the assistant over at Cheyenne Central. But again, you saw the at least boys basketball program make it to the state title game
2 years ago.
2 years ago, but I'm just saying, how much?
Last year was a little lean for.
And this is nothing against South or at least programs out there, but how much longer can you use that as kind of a crutch where you've already seen athletic programs out there be successful, trying to get into that, at least be relevant and be a respected at least outfit
and again,
across the state of Wyoming.
Here's the problem I have though too when you have the triads, Johnson, Carey, and McCormick. You know, back in the day, Johnson used to be the dominating football program of the junior high schools.
Yeah.
So,
again, Johnson was also back in my day, again, where you split off, where you'd have, again, you would
go to Central.
There wasn't a McCormick of you're going to Central, at least Carey to East. No, Johnson, we were that kind of split off of, well, some of you were going over there, some of you were going over there.
Well, and again, let's understand, too, times are different. Even from the time that you went to junior high, times are different. Yeah. You know, sometimes families are stressed a little bit. You know, again, the kids either
I don't know where to go with this one, but
either the kids are interested in going out for athletics or they're not. So again, you know, as Coach Gallus and Coach Bailey now also over there, Coach DeBride, and then you have your other sports. You know. You put out the flyer, the notices to people. Here's the open gyms. Here's football practice.
I mean, they're not doing anything different than Central or East are doing. Again, they're up there. It's brand new facilities.
How much interest is there in playing athletics?
That's the big question. I don't think that they're having issues of getting at least players out there.
Athletes, no, I don't think so. But again, is it a consistent model every year? I think with the stability of Coach Gallus. Yes, I think it's going to be a good program. But again, it's a different feel from when Coach Pugh was there. Coach Pugh had the program for a few years. Now it's under a new direction. Again, same thing as Cheyenne Central. Cheyenne Central, as I came to town in '86, was the most dominating force. It was Central, Laramie, Sheridan back in the day, and then Gillette was starting to build its program. Yeah. Casper Natrona has always been solid. But Cheyenne Central was the flag bearer back in the day.
I mean, it's almost with pro sports, you see that at least maneuvering between, again, this team's on top for a few years, then you kind of maneuver over to, all right, someone else is taking that flag again. Look at what East has done where, hey, our class, at least that 2008 class, we brought in, again, 3 straight state championship games for football, again, with leading into a title in 2008. But it's a situation where, again, you're seeing the rotation. It's not like a team is really dominating, at least so far with the back-to-back Sheridan is. But is Sheridan going to be back there this year? I think they're heavily favored, but who knows? Maybe Natrona gets into relevancy.
But you're also saying it without even saying it. The stability with the East program.
I mean, they've had down years. There's been,
I understand it,
since I've been gone.
But the stability with the program with Chad Goff running it.
Yeah.
And like you said, East is usually near the top, not necessarily winning it all. Yeah. Again, Casper Natrona, Steve Harshman has been there, 20-plus years now? So again, that stability is starting to always take shape at Casper Natrona. Don Julian had a great run while he was with Sheridan. Now he turned it over to, the school district opted to go with his offensive coordinator. So, again, he's been under the Don Julian system for years and years. So, again, to a certain degree, there's some stability there. But when you have coaching changes, and you're bringing in different programs, you have to get guys revived again to come on out and play football. You know, it's like, well, I don't know if I want to play for this guy. I don't like this offense. I don't like this defense.
I really don't think as a teenager in high school you're really doing stuff like that. That's more of a college or maybe a pro athlete going, I don't agree with you. It's pretty much, hey, you're either playing football or you're not. Especially out here where you got your choices. If you're saying, hey, lines are locked up of, hey, you're not transferring to Central or East, I think, again, you suck it up and go, all right, if I want to play football, this is how I got to do it.
Also, too, and it goes back to the sports world, and I'll point this young man who broke his leg his junior year.
Okay, that really helps for radio audience.
I know,
okay.
but I'm just showing it too. Brandon Nimmo, when he broke his leg his junior year, and his senior year, he opted not to play football. So, again, you have some.
And guess what? Any player has that option.
Yeah, you
do.
Again, and this is what I'm saying.
But I don't think that out of the 3 schools in town, I don't really, again, without the coaches maybe telling us off air or at least, behind closed doors of if they're having those issues, I really don't see it. I don't anticipate. I don't see that as a big issue. Again, we saw especially with girls basketball over at South. It seems like with DeBryan, he has a solid core. There might be very young team, but it is a situation where they were. Again, you hate to say it, but they were awful last year. But those young athletes are going to stick with that program, hopefully.
You hope they will.
Hopefully. And, again, it's going to build something very special coming up, maybe this season, next season, 2 years
But also, too, you said something that was very poignant in the beginning. You said when you were at Johnson, you were the deciding school, so to speak, because McCormick feeds Central and Cary feeds East. Johnson broke off into East and Central. Well, now you have your feeder programs. Johnson goes to South, and again, Cary as well as McCormick going to East and Central respectively. So, again, I don't know how well these programs are doing, the feeder programs, as they lead into the high school program. So, again, there's a lot of intangibles involved, but, again, stability. At Cheyenne East, we're starting to see the stability now at South, and hopefully with Coach Apodaca in Cheyenne Central.
We really haven't had 2, or at least I mean, other than majority of sports. But again, this offseason wasn't. You couldn't even classify as stability. Again, what we saw was again Severn going at least losing that job over at Central. You saw the fluctuation between here's Jeff Bailey at East, now moving over to South. You lost Jim Schaefer, now moving over to Central. You got Rusty Horsley moving from the girls program over to the boys at East. There's nothing that says stable of what happened this offseason. And again, that was just on at least majority of it was basketball side.
Horsley is out at Cheyenne East, so again, he knows what he's.
I get that, but again, he's moving away from that at least.
And Wesleyan's been there too, so I mean, he's been on the sidelines with Horsley for a long time.
But it's still something you have to get adjusted to, because again, Wesleyan's going to bring his own style of at least play, again, his own offense and defensive schemes compared to.
I don't think
Horsley.
You see much change. I really don't.
Who knows? But again, it is his team. He can do whatever he can take of what he's learned under Coach Rusty Horsley, or again make his own kind of at least program. Again, he is head coach. He can do whatever he wants.
And when you watch,
does Rusty Horsley involve his own, or does he go off of Jeff Bailey?
You're going to watch a Rusty Horsley team that's going to be very defensive minded. I guarantee you. I mean, that's how.
He's a defensive-minded head coach, but this is a team that's going to be nothing but offense, especially when you do have Eric Oliver out there, again, one of the top players in all this, in the state of Wyoming. How are you going to find that balance? Again, that was a team last year that was all nothing but offense.
And then you got the Twins coming back. So, I mean, he's got a good program waiting for him this season too. When he comes back, Tag Lane, he's got some veterans returning as well. So, again. Like I said, I'm going to go back to the football side. We're starting to see the stability part at South, and again, already in place at East. I think with Mike Apodaca, again, the relatability to Cheyenne Central, being a former athlete there at Cheyenne Central.
Yeah.
And again,
and obviously South though can't have that really. At least potential with anyone that they hire on. Again, it's a school that's existed for 5 years?
Well, no, but if you went to South, one of the first classes, Yeah, you might be graduating from college right now, and you're not going to come back as a head coach. Anyway, I think it's in good hands under Coach Gallus. He just needs to get the student athletes out there to participate in the football program. Anyway, looking forward to it. Getting back to next week's game, we will be at Milt Risky Field, 7:00. It'll be myself along with Chris Bolton and one Nick Proetti. We will be. We'll just be taking over the press box area over there at Risky Field. So do join us for our broadcast on the air about 6:30. Kickoff slated for about 7:00. That's the last we've heard. That kickoff will be 7:00 for opening night.
Again, we'll know more and pass along all that information on social media. Again, we will at least get all that information as we'll be in contact with Chad Whitworth and all ADs coming up next week. Again, with times, we do have dates set in teams, which you can find, which I did post up on our social media sites, whether it was Facebook, Twitter, or it's on our 1480krae.com website, where you can find our broadcast schedule. If it changes for whatever reason, update of times for whatever reason, again, find all that stuff. We will keep you up to date as soon as possible with every single game going throughout football season, basketball season, which includes high school and LCCC.
Yes, men and women's, both on the high school side as well as for the Golden Eagles and Lady Golden Eagles. We got a busy upcoming 7 months for us. Let's see.
It's the same thing as what we had last season.
7.5 months.
Again, all we're doing is changing things up where we're not going to have double games going on at KYY and K-Ray.
Right.
So I think this year is going to be a little bit more easy.
And then you're on the road with me over with LCCC. And we were talking this afternoon. We were in the bullpen, myself and Nick, and we're talking about the schools which I encountered last year. And obviously we're moving all – Region 9 is going to be Wyoming this year. But you still have
Region 9 North. Yeah. Well, I mean, the divisions don't change. It's LCCC is no longer in the South. Right. They move north to keep with the Wyoming
along
teams.
with Eastern Wyoming. But over in Torrington. But again, some of the places that we broadcast last year, which I would think.
I'm just saying you're not going to have a home and home anymore going down to Trinidad. You're going to have maybe a preseason where they come here or you have to go there one time.
I think that if it's a preseason, you'll be doing a home and home. Yeah.
If you think so. Again, where we saw only preseason games where, hey, we're going to Western Nebraska one time.
All right. They came over here. McCook came here.
You know everything. You know it. Again, it's preseason. I don't anticipate.
You might want to call both Coach Ficca as well as Coach.
They don't have the schedules up.
I'm just telling you this. We went to McCook. They came over here. That type of deal. Same with Scottsbluff. We went there at Western Nebraska and they came here for a weekend. So I'm just. Those will be the preseason games if we do that, if we go down to Trinidad, if we go to Otero, that type of deal. So it'll be interesting to see what the schedule, pans out for us as we get ready for LCCC basketball coming up in November. And that will be here before you know it as well. I mean, this summer has just flown right by.
How about just pay attention to football right now? Again, that's kind of the main thing, right?
I'm paying attention to football, but I'm not paying attention to preseason because I care.
Well, yeah, preseason NFL, who cares?
I know, but it's such
again, am I really interested in the entire game that's coming up tonight? And again, we need to take a break, but it is Browns versus Bills coming up tonight in preseason action week number 2.
Baker Mayfield versus Josh Allen.
What was that name? Baker Mayfield?
I said Baker Mayfield. I didn't.
Anyways, yeah, it is going to be rookie.
I speak English a lot better than you. We've heard you talk.
I highly doubt it. And again, I have all recordings here in front of me. But anyways, Baker Mayfield versus Josh Allen tonight. Again, the rookie quarterbacks, at least the highly touted rookie quarterbacks in at least this year's draft, going at it tonight. I'm interested to see what both do. But other than that, when they both step off the field, I don't care. I don't care what the result is. Again, for both, they are trying to. Are they? I think more so for Baker Mayfield. He is trying to make a case to be the starter over a Tyrod Taylor. Again, what we've learned with Josh Allen, he's not going to be the starter at every side as much as he's going to. If he does impress or put on a fantastic performance in this preseason, he's still not going to be the starter. They're going to let him at least give him time to kind of flourish and get adjusted to the NFL. But it is a situation where maybe he moves up in the depth chart. I think he's still listed as the number 3 quarterback right now, at least under the Bill system. But again, interested to see how well he does, and that's about it.
Well, the question:
do I care what the score is going to be? No. Is it something that Josh
start? That's the question. Do they start tonight? Because usually when you get to your second game of the season, it will be almost like your second teamers get the call.
And they might, again, if it's going to be, I think it's on NFL Network.
Or do they play a half?
I don't know. Who cares?
I do. I would like.
I mean, if they get
on NFL Network, I'm going to definitely watch Josh Allen play tonight.
It's a Friday night. I got better things to do than watch a preseason game. Again, I'll catch the highlights of see what Josh Allen. Again, what he does tonight, whether it's good or bad, it's a situation where again Josh Allen is what the best move for him is just to solidify that backup role behind A.J. McCarron, and that's about it.
Oh, and that's why you have to play well against the Cleveland Browns. Every time you step onto the field for preseason now, even though it doesn't mean diddly squat in the standings, but for you as a rookie in the National Football League, getting hit by the big boys now and throwing.
Well, you're getting hit by the second team big boys.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They still hurt when they hit you. The point is, what you have to do is refine your God-given abilities on the football field. You have to, again, this guy's got an arm that is, like a Wild West six-shooter, and the thing is they got to refine his skills, make him a better quarterback, because they want him. He is the future of the Buffalo Bills. So I don't know if Baker Mayfield is.
People are still on the fence if he is at all. At least, again, there are naysayers out there, clearly, as we saw, especially with one Jalen Ramsey with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but there are naysayers out there in questioning, even in Buffalo, is he going to be that future? Again, there is no real guarantee. On this side, I think he has the tools. I think he has the talent to at least lead that Bills team. It was very interesting that they're going to select A.J. McCarron over Josh Allen to start out, at least to start this season under the Buffalo Bills. But, again, I also understand hey, let him adjust. Don't need to put all this pressure on him. Let him just kind of ease on into the NFL. Don't need to toss him out there and put the world of going, all right, Josh, here you are.
I look back to John Elway when he was drafted initially by the Colts and then traded to the Broncos. He didn't start his first game. He was the understudy to Steve DeBerg and eventually became the starter.
But I'm just saying,
Dan Marino was throwing in.
Three others, at least of that quarterback class, at least that went top 10, I would assume have good shots at being starters.
Darnold, yeah, there's no
Darnold,
doubt
I think,
absolutely.
No,
I think
Darnold,
Colin's 100 years old over there.
But he brought back the Jets, or at least got him some wins last year. And again, they have the full faith that he's going to do something. But again, he is aging. Darnold, I have to sit back and go, he might be he's a contender, but I don't hand it to him.
Of the quarterbacks that I mentioned, and again, Rosen, I'm a little higher.
He has to be the starter for Arizona.
Yeah, they don't really have anything much. Well, they got Sam Bradford.
Again, who's garbage.
I mean,
you want to talk about someone who's
Sam
garbage.
Bradford's brittle.
He's in. Even when he isn't brittle, when he's leading any teams, again, we saw how many years with the St. Louis Rams, or at least part of that franchise.
But he had just like
he had pieces around him.
Like Case Keenum, he had a good season with the Minnesota Vikings, though.
Whoop-de-doo.
I'm just saying.
And clearly, Case Keenum is not showing anything too wowing right now, especially after interviews with John Elway with the Broncos.
We'll talk about that when we come back after the break. But what we're saying, though, with tonight, it's a good showcase for both Mayfield as well as
it is.
Allen.
It's trying to get eyes onto at least NFL Network to, again, appease your advertisers for NFL. But other than that, though, again, is it something I need to watch? Not really. Because, again, I think on Josh Allen's side, all this is to maybe help solidify him as a backup role and, again, kind of continue on from Baker Mayfield.
Here's what you don't get. In college football, we don't get a preseason. College football,
because who cares?
We know, but we go.
You get a spring game, and that's about it.
Here at least you get to see the progress. Is this guy going to make it? You'll know right away if he's going to make it in the NFL.
I've seen other players go with progress of the preseason and become nothing during the regular season. Again, it does not mean anything. It really doesn't. Again, I've seen rookies that put on fantastic showcases in the preseason. Because again, not saying that all players are out there going, 50% or something like that, but it's a situation where I've seen rookies in the past put on fantastic numbers in the preseason, then regular season. Well, what happened? You're nothing. You didn't. What happened to that preseason effort? You put it all on the line, and now you got nothing.
All right. Well, You and I,
and I'm not saying all of them, but I
agree to disagree. I'm looking forward to seeing the progress of Josh Allen as he builds hopefully his career in the National Football League. Tonight he gets to showcase it on the NFL Network. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back with more after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
All right, good half of football, boys. Now, good is good, but we can always be better. Look at Taco John's. They took those tasty little potato lays and loaded them up with bacon and ranch and all kinds of good stuff. They made something good even better.
Taco John's new loaded potato olays are loaded with craveable toppings for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even dessert.
So olay the day, boys, and play like you're making loaded potato lays.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
John Barrasso, conservative, for Wyoming.
Wyoming is a land of spectacular beauty and great history. Teddy Roosevelt loved Wyoming. He praised Wyoming's cowboy cavalry that helped form his Rough Riders. That cowboy courage and determination lives on today in our people. As a doctor, I help people get healthy again. Now as a senator, I fight to protect our state and make our country stronger.
John fights alongside President Trump to end the war on Wyoming's energy economy. He fights for Wyoming veterans, our small businesses and job creators, to protect our farmers and ranchers from costly Washington rules and mandates. And John fought for tax cuts that help hard-working Wyoming families and businesses. And we won.
I'm John Barrasso. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote to keep fighting for you and Wyoming's families.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 54. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon with highs around 80. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 50.
When it comes to sports talk in Cheyenne, it's a whole new ballgame. Let's play ball! You're listening to Wyoming Sports Talk today, and it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We are back on Wyoming Sports Talk today, doing the football thing as we come out of the box this afternoon. And again, the Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield. Again, it's not the battle. It's
the simulation. That's about it.
No. Again, these guys that are trying to make, trying to be the starters of these individual.
Again, one we know is not going to be. Again, the Bills have come out and said it. Again, we've talked, especially when we talk with Sal, at least back from Buffalo. Again, it was a situation where, hey, he's not going to be the starter. We know that. They're not going to do that to him. If any, again, the only reason why it would happen is if A.J. McCarron goes down, is where then it would be a serious, at least you'd have to take a serious look at Josh Allen. And again, that's barring if A.J. McCarron does have an injury this preseason. But again, for Baker Mayfield, he does have a shot. Is he going to get it over Tyrod Taylor? I don't anticipate it. Again, you're going to go off of kind of the Case Keenum, at least roles of what we see, especially where GMs go, hey, what have you done for me recently? Well, Tyrod Taylor had that one successful year last year with Buffalo. All right, let's see if it translates well. I think Baker has a better shot at becoming a starter compared to Josh Allen, clearly, but Is he going to get it, especially if he does well in tonight's game? Maybe, possibly, but not really sure. Maybe the Browns realize, hey, we don't need to toss him out as early as people want him to be. Maybe let him learn under the NFL system. Maybe he's not as ready as people think that he is. Who knows? Who really knows?
Speaking of Case Keenum, already
he's turned out to be a dog.
Well,
or at least
are we like all shocked? I mean, you were going, Elway got him because what have you done for me lately? That type of deal.
I never said he was the second coming or he's going to revitalize this Broncos team. I've been telling people this is a bad move. It's again with the Broncos.
It was a horrible move. I think we all agree.
Out of every quarterback available, at least especially in the offseason, or you couldn't make a wheel and deal move for someone, you went with Case Keenum, where he had one great year in his entire NFL career at Minnesota because he had pieces around him. Okay. You saw one out of, 6 seasons for Case Keenum. He was at least did somewhat okay last year. Okay.
I think Case
it's still a questionable move.
Case Keenum is a very...
He's a solid backup.
He's a capable backup. Absolutely. He would be your game manager type of player. He's not going to hurt. He doesn't hurt you, but he's nothing of great shakes as well.
No.
So
you think on again, we'll talk about the New York Giants, or at least I'll toss that out an example, especially led by Eli Manning. Do you think Case Keenum, as much as the Giants are kind of projected to be bad and they were awful last year, do you think Case Keenum would take over the job over Eli Manning, a guy who's had 2 Super Bowl at least victories? I don't think so. I really don't.
I mean, under last year, if McAdoo was still there,
well, guess what? Fans wanted him out, and he was gone, and now they're under a new regime there in Giant land. But it's right now with Case Keenum, he's going to underwhelm a lot of Bronco fans. As much as everyone wants to think that he's going to be a revitalization for this team,
I don't think Bronco fans were all that high on him being signed.
You really don't have the pulse in. Again, you're not seeing of what I'm seeing, especially on the social media side of, hey, this is better than what we got with Paxton Lynch, better than what we had with Osweiler. This is someone who is a veteran, quote unquote. It's a situation where Bronco fans...
Yeah, Case Keenum...
I've seen more positive than I've seen negative
better
about
than Trevor Siemian. I will give you that.
I've seen a lot more positive notes around Case Keenum from Bronco fans than I've seen negative.
Bronco fans were hoping, and again, going back to the draft, got Case Keenum, got rid of Siemian. We knew that Lynch was probably 1 foot out the door. We knew that Osweiler was hasta la vista. Okay? So signing Keenum, it was like, all right, we got him. Who are we going to draft? We got this number 7 pick or 5 pick, whatever it was, and they didn't draft him. They went after Chubb, the defensive end.
And they bolstered that defense. No, it's nothing. It's not a bad idea of what the Broncos did, but again, all signs were pointing that they were going to get another quarterback. But also, too, it's a situation of how many years do you need to keep on continuing drafting a quarterback?
Let me ask you.
You've had how many chances so far in the past? How many drafts of going after a Lynch? After
let me ask you this.
Whoever.
Let me ask you this. If again, I'm going to give you the John Elway floor. Would have you gone for a quarterback with that first pick, first round draft?
I wouldn't have signed Case Keenum, and yeah, I would have basically taken this season as a wash and
try to build a future.
Get a Baker Mayfield as everyone thought they were, or a Josh Allen. Absolutely. Again, I would have looked at seriously of going, all right, maybe we need to start in a fresh new direction. But also, too, it's a situation where I just brought it up of, all right, how many years do you need to keep on continuing drafting a quarterback to hopefully get a winner under there? Again, you've done it how many years in a row now?
Well,
they've been complete losers?
Well, unfortunately, Paxton Lynch, and again, I sit here again, just egg on my face because I thought he was going to be the answer, big guy, going to replace Peyton Manning.
Guess what? You're just like any other Bronco fan.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
right now.
he's got nothing between the ears. But again, this year the Broncos went absolutely nothing draft-wise for a quarterback, where there were some very good quarterbacks. But also, too, we're finding out now that we may have a quarterback, in camp that might be all right.
What do you mean?
Well, who got some reps?
Kelly. I guess.
He might be okay. He wasn't bad in college.
Again, I preseason of just judging character and like judging skills. I really, you know how I am. Again, with the preseason, it means nothing to me. It doesn't tell me a whole lot. Again, I've seen rookies who've gone out and put great performances on, and then guess what? They don't show up in the regular season when it matters and everything's on the line. It's a situation where, yeah, good, and kudos to Kelly. Does it help him up in the at least depth chart? Clearly, it did. Again, moving past Paxton Lynch, but is it a situation? Is it going to translate if it's go time for him? If this Case Keenum experiment doesn't work and they go, hey Kelly, it's your time. Is it going to translate well coming up at least in the regular season? I don't know. Again, it was the same thing with Paxton Lynch. Hey, we have this full faith. You did good. At least in the preseason, or at least what we saw early on. Guess what? Hey, it's go time for you. Oh, you didn't do anything.
Well, here's the deal.
You're awful.
Here's the deal, and what this article said earlier today, Elway won't call Kaepernick, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
And was there any surprise?
What it's telling me is Paxton Lynch days are numbered. And again, Pat Graham even told us that when we were talking to him earlier this week. So whether I got a feeling, I just got a feeling that there's going to be no takers in the NFL for Paxton Lynch. I feel like he's going to be outright waived.
Who'd want to? I think the only team that would probably entertain him because they have a very questionable backup is probably the 49ers. At least of one team that's at least kind of goes to my mind of where it's a situation where behind Jimmy G, if for whatever reason,
Miami too, little weak in that position as well.
I guess as well, but there might be select teams. They're not going to give you the world. I don't think the 49ers are going to go, all right, here's what we'll give for you in return to Paxton Lynch. No, I think the Broncos have to realize it's a wash and go, all right, give us anything, and here you go. If you want a third string or a possible backup when you're kind of desperate, and I think it is. I think you will see Paxton Lynch on the move. I think absolutely his time is up in Denver. I think we've seen that, especially where he voiced of how frustrated he was. Yeah, I think he's done. There's no reason to keep him there. You gave him this solid faith last year of going, hey, you're our man, let's go forward with you. He didn't do anything, and now you're turning your back and going, well, you're not as good as we thought. All right, get to the back of the line. Sorry. With Paxton Lynch, he's not a Bronco for much longer this season.
So Elway right now, that we know, is out shopping for a quarterback.
Oh, he's doing it now?
Well, again, he's looking for.
It seems like he's been shopping for quarterbacks
for
years.
For that number 3, and he hasn't been able to. Again, with Mark Sanchez, a couple of years ago, and
again, you can name up many names. Again, why the Broncos brought back an Osweiler, why you brought in a Mark Sanchez. It tells me that either it's a John Elway thing or it's scouting on the behalf of whoever's looking and saying this is a good idea to move and get these guys. The Broncos are not that. What it's telling me is the Broncos are not good at scouting, or at least not good at least selecting a quarterback. Clearly, Mark Sanchez, are you kidding me? Osweiler, really? And you've already had duds so far. Again, what you saw with Paxton Lynch in the draft. How much farther is it going to go? I think they're gonna learn the hard way as well too. With Case Keenum going, we went after this guy. Why? But we gave him this money. Why?
Ask yourself right now, though, who is sitting out there unemployed, so to speak, besides Kaepernick?
No one really. No one knows.
Okay, so you would have to go pick on other teams right now. Other teams.
I mean, is Whedon still available?
I don't know.
I mean, there was no one really. I mean, you could think of maybe veterans or at least someone who's been retired. I mean, maybe call up Mike Vick. Hey, you want to come back and play?
No.
I don't know. Again, there's no one out there to go, all right.
But anyway, let's go into the whole deal because this was brought up. John Elway was brought into the collusion trial because Kaepernick has brought that forth against the National Football League.
Which has been in for a while.
Yeah, and Elway had to give deposition.
There you go.
In May for Kaepernick's lawyers. Now, here's the deal. Elway will not even consider Colin Kaepernick.
He did at one point in time.
He did in 2016.
Which I told you they were in talks, and you didn't believe me, and that they would have offered him something, and we now know that they did.
We knew what Kaepernick was making with the 49ers.
And again,
there was no way that Elway was going to give
it bolsters my argument of why Kaepernick is not playing in this league right now and why he thinks it's a big conspiracy is he's asking way too much money. And John Elway went out and said that, at least yesterday, going, he asked way too much. He's not worth it. I think that's what's killing his stock right now, or at least why he's unemployed in the NFL. Again, my personal opinion is his talent level and how much money he's wanting is not on the same playing field.
And unfortunately, I got to say
again, I think he's going out to every single team and asking for way too much of what he's not worth.
And again, where they signed Mark Sanchez back in the day, $3-4 million, maybe $5 million. I can't remember.
Get him cheap.
That's where everybody wants to sign a Kaepernick. I think Kaepernick would be employed if he came down about $6-7 million.
But he's not going to.
No, because he was making about $12 million with the Niners.
And again, I've been telling you this for like the past year and a half of, again, this guy's asking way too much. Teams do not want to give it to him.
And Elway offered him
he's not worth it.
Elway offered him up to $7 million. That's $2 million more than he paid Sanchez.
Yeah.
And
but again, this is a guy with Colin Kaepernick of, again, I'm repeating myself from months ago, but it's a situation where, again, what has he done? Again, he's gonna go to these. He's selling himself as almost a job interview, going, "Hey, I brought a team to a Super Bowl. I was a part of teams that were in the NFC Championship. I've had winning records. I've had winning seasons in the playoffs. Here's what I can bring to your table." Again, I was a starter, part of that 49er team. Those 49er, at least the terrible years of the 49ers weren't my fault, and this is just kind of me speaking for Colin Kaepernick, but it's a situation where he's saying, hey, I'm the greatest thing right now. I deserve this money. Sign me up. Where I, again, watching that 49er team, being a fan of that team, seeing how Kaepernick is, again, you got that role because Alex Smith was injured. It was Alex Smith's team.
Well, when he went down, they were 7-2.
You were only good because, again, you had great pieces around you there in San Francisco, again, where those teams were making it to NFC Championship games and eventually that one Super Bowl. But it's a situation with Colin Kaepernick is he's valuing himself way too high of where I would say, again, you're not as good as you really think. You only had those great numbers because, again, the cast of characters around you there in San Francisco, that's the only reason why you were there. Again, remember, he was a backup to Alex Smith,
right?
Who was leading that team, who got a concussion late in, I do believe, in the 2012 season.
They were 7-2 when Smith went down. Smith came back. Was it right before the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken? But Harbaugh decided to stay with Kaepernick,
with the hot hand, who was winning.
And again,
which is not bad. Again, keep up.
I had a problem back then, and my problem was how can Smith lose his starting job to the backup?
I don't know.
And again, Harbaugh opted to go with Kaepernick,
which is questionable. Again, I've always been an Alex Smith supporter, and I've always said, "Hey, give the guy a chance." As much as, again, everyone wanted to take away, and I think the rest of that kind of west side of the Bay Area agrees with me of going, well, Alex Smith should have deserved a little bit better treatment during those years.
Absolutely.
But
you're not going to get an argument out of me either.
Again, with Kaepernick, it was a situation, at least with him, again, he overvalued himself. He thinks he's worth all this money. He thinks he did this, or at least all this, those great 49er years were because of him. No, it's because you had a great cast of characters. You all meshed well, and you just were an opportunist. You took the bull by the horns, and you led the team to some success. That's about it.
And the thing now with Kaepernick, with the collusion trial that he has against the National Football League, he's overpriced because he's got an under 500 record as a starting quarterback. And
just let you know we need to take a break.
I know we do, and we'll get to that here. But I'm just saying, so you got two factors that worked against him. I'll step aside on the national anthem part. I'll step aside on that, but that has not helped him as well either. So, I mean, the guy's got strike one, strike two, strike three. Who's going to touch the
again?
guy?
I think with the collusion with Kaepernick, it does not have to do. I don't think GMs were turning him down because of the national anthem. It might have a small little thing, but again, I think the main, and John Elway kind of reinforced it, of he's asking way too much and he's not worth it.
And we're not willing to give up that much for him.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Again, I think Elway kind of bolstered my conspiracy theory.
I actually think I think Elway speaks on behalf of the entire National Football League.
That's what I'm saying. I think he
was
was the first to come out and say, hey, he's asking for too much. I'm not giving it to him. Now let me ask you, with the Niners, would the Niners ask him for a pay cut, or would they just outright waive him? I think
because they didn't re-sign him.
I think they just outright waived him.
All right,
just time to move on. Because again, remember those. Again, with the fluctuation of head coaches, it was pretty rough years there at the tail end of those starting years for Kaepernick. Again, you saw what he really could do, which was nothing. And I think the 49ers just go, or at least at that time, they just went, you're not worth it.
Yeah, your contract's over, see you bye.
We don't want you.
All right, we're going to take a time out here. We're getting close to the top of the hour. We'll be back. A couple of things out of Seattle. We're back after these words.
Mark Gordon, Republican for governor.
The governor's job is to manage state finances, understand all of Wyoming, and work with the people to get things done. How do you choose who to vote for? The candidates are all pretty conservative. What separates us? Experience. I've delivered results in my community, in business, and in our government. Now I want to put that experience to work for you, from day one. And I would very much appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Paid for by Friends of Mark Gordon.
Republican Senator Al Simpson.
Hi, this is Al Simpson. Electing our own office holders is one of our most precious freedoms, so don't be deceived by outside billionaires telling you how to vote. Come down on the side of Mark Gordon. I've known Mark most of his life. He's a rancher, small business guy, plus he's made a real difference in Cheyenne as our state treasurer. Most of all, Mark Gordon is the genuine article. Mark is going to be a great governor.
Paid for by Friends of Mark Gordon.
First Tier Banks drives remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? They can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. They have a 16th-month CD at an APY of 2.05% and a 27th-month CD at an APY of 2.27%. You can feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie, member FDIC and equal housing lender. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
For 56 years, 1480 K-Ray has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both K-Ray and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Don Morris at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner. Are you thinking about purchasing a home? Then Platte Valley Bank can help. With Platte Valley Bank, you can count on local decisions and expect to work with an experienced staff to design a loan to fit your needs. Just log on to pvbank.com and fill out our online application. We have money to lend, and at Platte Valley Bank, we are in the business of fulfilling dreams, enriching lives, and building our community one loan at a time.
All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 54. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon with highs around 80. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 50.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
We're going to rock you like a hurricane here on KYOY. Before we get to
KYOY?
That's what I thought it was on KYOY that was playing that great
You're
music.
an idiot.
1480 K-Ray. Here we go. In addition to the Broncos with this quarterback possibly shopping for, at least the quarterback situation in Seattle seems pretty stable, but they've got some problems
For
right
now.
Russell Wilson, pretty solid there at the quarterback position. He gets injured too often. But couple good, couple bad. In a surprising move, the Seahawks have terminated the contract of defensive end Marcus Smith, who was projected to fill a significant role as part of their pass rush rotation this season. Pete Carroll said some personal reasons factored into Smith's release. He said earlier this week that Smith's absence from practice was due to a family issue. Also, first-round pick Rashad Penny had surgery this week to repair a broken finger. Coach Carroll said the surgery went well, and Penny isn't expected to miss more than a couple of weeks, but they're having some problems there in Seattle. And then on the good side, the Seahawks today made it official with their deal with outside linebacker pass rusher Eric Walden. And that was previously reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter. So that deal has been taken care of. And then also a guy that is trying to revive his career in Seattle. And you know what? He probably, if he would still been part of the Broncos, I think he would have probably been one of the prime receivers, Brandon Marshall.
I guess.
The guy became the Terrell Owens after Terrell retired. Because you think about it, a great career in Denver. Then he goes to the Jets, Chicago, And then
I don't think he's going to revive his career on that Seattle team. Let's be honest. Again, Seattle is going to compete with Arizona being one of the worst in the NFC.
Well, but his career's bounced around. He might find some stability in Seattle. And
I doubt it. It's stability in Seattle. You seen what the Seahawks have done this past year?
But with
that
Russell
team is
Wilson
spiraling.
on the offensive side, I think, yes, he might have some stability.
I highly doubt it. That team is out of control going down the tubes.
Also, the Seahawks, though, they signed Marshall for a bargain price. I mean,
well, yeah, because again, he hasn't done anything in his career for quite some time.
Well,
he's a journeyman wide receiver that no one cares.
I think he's going to definitely, the way things are in Seattle, like you just mentioned, definitely he's going to catch on. I think he might be a good target for Russell Wilson.
He's the only target out there for Seattle at this point in time. They have no one.
Well, they got him for a bargain price. He's going to pay off in
doesn't mean that it's adding to that team of where again they're competing in the
didn't say they were going to win the West.
No,
I never said that. I said they have problems. Then they got a couple of good things that happened to them. Didn't say anything about them winning.
Minor good things. The more the bad outweighs the good right now in Seattle.
All right,
that Seahawks team is not going to be good.
We have reached the top of the hour. Plus, we are going to take a timeout. We're back after these words.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Wow, it's hot enough out there to fry chicken. So now's the time to find ways to beat the heat, and Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, is the best place to go to get cool. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, which provides complete air conditioning, installation, inspection, and repair services, is offering its air conditioning inspections for just $98. So beat the heat right now by calling Marv's Plumbing and Heating today at 316-7634. That's 316-7634.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming-Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And Wyoming Sports Talk Today, hour number 2, brought to you by Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, the Wyoming-Montana Safety Council, 635-4592. Mondello's Pizzeria, 7 days a week, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. Oh, by the way, Joe wanted me to pass along that they're doing some restructuring, some remodeling in the Lostria, so it's just Mondello's Pizzeria for now at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. First Year Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. You see them Monday through Friday. Lennox Auto Body ×2. The main auto and truck repair center over on Dunn Avenue. The Auto Glass and Detail Center on Pershing Boulevard. Medicap Pharmacy, Bluegrass Circle, next door to Texas Roadhouse. Plant Valley Bank on Banda High, and again at the corner of on Pershing and College on the east side. We also want to thank Key of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Del Range, open Monday through Saturday. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. And again, we also want to thank Taco John's, your home for loaded potato olays. The new sirloin steak burritos. Every Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday. This weekend, it's a great weekend to load up on a 6-pack and a pound. Taco John's of Cheyenne.
Again, and those sirloin steak burritos and all that good stuff, again, it's for a limited time. At least it's a testing out period up until September, just to make sure before they add it to the menu. So again, it's limited time only.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you.
Letting you know.
I know.
I'm just saying, you can't wait and sit for a few months. You got to go get it now.
You got to go after it right now.
Yeah.
Well, when we talk about these products and you hear the commercials, which we like to play a lot of commercials, get your hiney over there and enjoy all those delicious eats at Taco John's. We go to our scoreboard right now, and our scoreboard, matter of fact, if you're thirsty, make sure with that sirloin steak burrito, you grab a Pepsi over at Taco John's, our Pepsi scoreboard.
Do they serve Pepsi products there?
Yes, they do.
All right, just making sure.
I know.
Good for you. Anyways, on my side, LCCC men's soccer in scrimmage action right now. They are down at the Colorado School of Mines down there in Colorado. Again, that scrimmage is going underway. Score-wise, unfortunately, they don't pass that along because, again, it's a scrimmage. The score doesn't really matter.
That's right.
But just letting you know that they are in action right now. Their regular season will get underway. LCCC, at least men's soccer, will be getting underway next Sunday, the 26th, as they will be at home taking on Garden City Community College. That game at 1 p.m. here in Cheyenne.
Major League Baseball, Phillies taking the field right now as they will host the New York Mets.
The Mets killed them last night.
No, it was a split in the twin bill.
Well, at least in game one.
24-5.
There you go.
And we'll get back to that here in just a second. I like this, though. This is a really good matchup in this contest. Noah Syndergaard, 8-2. Matching up against Aaron Nola, who's 13-3. So
Syndergaard, he's back, right?
Yeah, he's got a 3.22 ERA. 91 degrees.
Was it Syndergaard who had the hand, mouth, and foot disease, right? Or yeah, okay.
But anyway, 91 degrees in Philly, and believe me, that is a damp Philadelphia right now.
Been there, did it, done it.
Yeah. Also on the schedule as we get off the air, it will be the Rays and the Red Sox at Fenway. Blue Jays will visit the Yankees in the Bronx. Marlins and the Nats at Nationals Park, at PNC in Pittsburgh. The Pirates will host the Cubs, Orioles, and the Indians at Progressive Field. Great American Ballpark will have the Giants as they will face off with the Cincinnati Reds. Rockies and the Braves tonight in SunTrust Park, Cumberland, Georgia. Rockies win last night. Kyle Freeland will get the call for Colorado. He'll be opposed by Sean Newcomb for Atlanta. In the 6 o'clock hour, it will be the Angels taking on the Rangers in Arlington, Texas, where it's only 97 degrees there. Royals and the White Sox in Chicago. Twins hosting the Motor City Kitties of Detroit at Target Field. Brewers and the Cardinals at Busch. It will be the Astros and the Athletics in the Oco. An important 3-game series. Who, Nick, for the A's or for the Stros, or both?
For both, clearly. Again, if Houston wants to keep that AL West at least kind of locked down for now, yeah.
Well, they're
A's,
not messing
guess
around.
what? You want to take advantage of that.
They're not messing around. Charlie Morton getting the call for the Astros. Edwin Jackson for Oakland tonight. Dodgers will face off with the Mariners in interleague play at Safeco, and it will be the Diamondbacks and the Padres at Petco. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000 bubbles dancing a two-step with you and 2 tacos at 2 a.m.
Order number 83. Come on, you're up.
This is the Pepsi that has mastered the art of the late-night munchies and is always down to dig into some deep dish.
Hey, we don't do deep dish, capiche?
Try telling that to Chicago. This is the Pepsi for po' boys, pulled pork sliders, and the godfather of all sandwiches, the Godfather. This is the Pepsi for street carts, anything a la carte, and is dying to make the leap into your grocery cart. Come on, take us home with you. This is the Pepsi for those who are forever fun. This is the Pepsi for every generation.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
What is that?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit. I've never been a fan of their music, so I wouldn't know who they are.
You've heard that song millions of times, though. Again, it's been around, especially in the wrestling world as well, too. So, again, I don't know why you play dumb on stuff like that, but whatever.
I just never paid attention to it. So you mentioned last night the Mets and the Phils were in a double dip at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Well, Brandon Nimmo, man, oh, man, you feel for the guy. And again, I feel like he's getting that Troy Tulowitzki syndrome right now, where he's
part of the bad luck Mets. Again, it's not just him. It's, again, with Syndergaard getting the hand, foot, and mouth disease, you had other pieces go down across the New York Mets. Again, you even have in the farm system where you have players getting injured, like, for instance, a Tim Tebow who's out for the rest of the season. Again, it's right now for that Mets organization, it's all hands on deck. Everyone is just kind of cursed under that Mets tutelage.
The night before he had 5 hits. It was a great night for Brandon. Last night he was 1 for 2, and the out that he made, and this really sucks. I mean, talk about baseball and the weird freak accidents you can have. On a check swing, the ball hit his finger and the bat, his index finger.
Mm-hmm.
So again, and you're looking at 90 plus miles an hour coming at you, hitting your finger. So he fell to the ground. He fell to the ground, rolled in pain as the ball made its way to third base. This was with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Nimmo.
And isn't this the second stint of this kind of similar injury for him this year?
Yeah, he got hit on the pinky finger here, if I recall. And again, good news for Brandon. Again, X-rays were negative, but talk about just your freak injuries.
Talk about a freak season. Again, with the Mets, they've been dealing with issues like this the entire, and again, it's not with just Nimmo, it's across the board, whether it is Cespedes being out, Syndergaard being out. Again, you've had injuries and oddball moments throughout that entire New York Mets season this year.
Yeah, and again, with Brandon, he's day-to-day. He's not in the lineup for this.
I don't anticipate again what we talked about when he had the pinky issue. Again, he might be entertained as a pinch hitter at some point in time, but I don't think they're going to rush him out there to at least elevate the injury going forward. I don't think it would be smart on the Mets' behalf.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that desperate to go out and go, hey, yeah, Brandon, we know you're a little bit injured, but we need you. I don't think they're going to be that careless with him.
No. And again, he's I don't know, again, if he's up for contract renewal this year.
I have no idea.
I'd have to look at the...
Something still tells me he's not going to be part of that Mets organization for some time. Again, this is a team that might unload, which I'm surprised they didn't unload more around the trade deadline this season. But in the offseason, I anticipate a lot of big names won't be a part of that Mets organization coming up next year.
We'll see. Well,
I'm just saying, you have big names. Again, Syndergaard, do you think he's going to be part of that team next season? They might find something for him. Possibly. You look at Cespedes. Is it time to move on from him? Possibly. See what you can get out of him. Brandon Nimmo, again.
Probably not a lot.
I think you could get something good. I think he's still a solid player. He's been injury-prone really heavily, so at least in recent years. But and then Brandon Nimmo, of what he's done this season, I think that's your kind of big piece of, all right, who's got something? Who's got something for us to rebuild? Because the Mets at this point in time and I wouldn't even call this kind of a freak season for them. It's been kind of a trend for the past couple of years for the Mets. It's right now they're on par with kind of the Miami Marlins of maybe it's time to restart. Put the refresh button.
Yeah.
And again, you could lead that team with Brandon Nimmo, keep him on, which is a good possibility, but I just anticipate.
Is he a future Met?
I see the Mets as doing a fire sale this offseason. And Brandon Nimmo might be one piece where they can get a lot for him.
Well, there's going to be a lot of, like you said, there's going to be a lot of interesting moves in the offseason. Again, first off, we'll talk Manny Machado. He seems to be fitting in well with Los Angeles. Dodgers are going to offer him money.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's going to offer him a pile of money. So it's going to be basically the Manny Machado sweepstakes and then everybody else. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I guess. There's probably other free agents that we don't, or at least not even thinking about it, because again, we're so far off right now. We still have a good amount of baseball season left.
Rocky's still got to get DJ LeMahieu signed.
He might be gone.
Let's see.
Arenado might be gone. Those might be two where
you know right now you could say what you want about the Rockies, but they are becoming good TV right now.
All right.
With their back-to-back wins and the way they split in Houston and last night's win in Atlanta.
It's almost like we were talking about this last season with them.
Yeah, well, but last season they were kind of faltering.
They got hot, and then eventually they falter to Arizona, who took advantage of them. But again, there's nothing that says that this Rockies team can't. We saw, again, talk about the last week or 2 weeks ago where we were kind of going, well, the Rockies are pretty much dead out of the water, or at least in a tailspin. Well, they turned it back on. There's nothing saying that they can't revert back to the old ways of blowing games, allowing teams to come back and get victories over them. Right now, they are hot. Can't deny that. They are one of the hottest teams right now in MLB. It's a situation where can they continue this all the way through the rest of through August?
I think they can.
They can.
I think they can.
But also, too, they can revert back to that Rockies team where it's like that bullpen doesn't know what they're doing.
They could, but I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, again, we're only talking about a team that's 9 games over 500.
Which is not, and again, for a team of at least how it's built, especially with that offense. And again, we're talking young starters who are ERA might be bloated, but their at least records aren't terrible. That bullpen, when it's good, or at least when it's on, can somewhat be good. But again, 9 games above 500 for this Rockies team, for me, again, on paper, seems very low for what they could be. Seems very low of what their potential is.
Right. They got 41 games left on the schedule. So just to wrap up August, they got 3 more at Atlanta. Then they take on the Padres at home, who they struggle with in Coors Field. Then they get St. Louis at home. They go to the Angels for a couple. Angels have kind of rolled over and played dead.
Yeah, but Angels could be that team that loves to play spoilers. So.
Then you move into the end of August, early September. They'll have 4 at San Diego. Then they come home for 3 against San Francisco, 3 against the Dodgers, 4 against Arizona. This is all at Coors Field. So they'll have a homestand of 10 games. Then they move out to San Francisco for 3, Dodgers for 3, Arizona for 3. Then they have the Phillies in late September. They go to
so you have 2 stints against a Padres team of where you should beat them, but the rest of the other series, very losable.
Well, and very,
I wouldn't say very winnable, but it's a toss-up of, you could lose to the Phillies.
But the way
the
West has been beating each other up, they may go 500 through this. I think the key for the Rockies are going to come right here, September 24th through the 30th, when they have the Philadelphia Phillies for 4, and then they wrap up with the Nats for 3. The Nats might be playing for their playoff lives. We don't know. Phillies might be playing for their playoff life. So we could have some really exciting baseball at Coors Field coming up here in the end of September. So the next 41 games for Colorado, again, we could say, every game's important.
Yeah.
But, talking about the dog days, this is going to be the dog days for the Rockheads right now.
But again, going back to at least the beginning portion of what we were talking about with LeMahieu and Arenado, again, we've talked with many Rockies insiders, with Pat Graham or whether it's Thomas Harding. But again, especially with Thomas, when we last talked to him, it's a situation of, do the Rockies retain Arenado? Do they retain LeMahieu? Is it a situation, again, they might be hot right now, and that's fine and dandy. The Rockies in regular season, sure, they can do well. We saw it last year. They were okay during the regular season, but guess what? Here, wild card game, you get beaten by this Arizona Diamondbacks team. What if the same situation, again, we could play the what if game, and I'm going to do it right now, but again, what if you get a similar, at least, situation that happens this season with the Rockies where, hey, you make it to the wild card spot, you don't get that NL West title, but you make it to the wild card and you falter out. Then it brings up, and again, I think we talked about this couple times this year, but it's a legitimate question of, do both of those top tier players give up on the Rockies, or at least kind of realize of, I'm not going to get it done here. Well, why am I wasting my time?
Here's the deal.
There's other teams out there.
Here's the deal with Nolan. I mean, let's be real with Arenado. Since his time with the Rockies, he's been steady Eddie.
Yeah.
And he's putting together another great season. Home runs, he's got, 30 home runs, 84 RBIs. So, again, it's another day at the office for him.
And, again, it's a contribution to a team that's 9 games above 500. I mean, again, with the numbers that they do put up there, again, in my opinion, this Rockies team should be well above 500, not just 9 games, but something a little bit more pushing the double digits, which they certainly can with a victory tonight. But it's maybe with that consistency, it also brings in a little doubt of going, again, here I am being consistent year in and year out. I'm putting on all-star performances, Gold Glove years, again, getting batting titles or whatever, competing for National League MVP. But it gets me this, a wild card team?
Well, and again, too.
And especially in this NL West of how rough it's been. Again, no one's really, you got 4 teams clumped up where those 4 teams aren't really competitive in the NL Central. Don't really stack up too well, at least in the NL East. They're a little bit closer, but nothing miles ahead. But it's a situation where maybe Arenado, LeMahieu kind of gets into the brain of going, I'm putting on these great performances year in and year out for this team, and this is all we can do?
Right. Well, and I'm just running down some of the stuff here. I'm looking at some of the stats for the Rockies right now, because you made a very good point. And the point was they're 9 games over 500. And I'm thinking the 8 guys that have been out there, and again, we've had some interchangeable parts, and, for example, Chuck Nasty going through a little bit of a slump right now. So with that being said, David Dahl, who's been oft injured, he's come in and he's filling the role. But you're looking at a baseball team with the Rockies this year. And again, I look at a Wade Davis, who has 33 saves.
Which is not bad. Again,
how many blown saves has he had, though?
Yeah, but again, as a closer, especially in this day and age, again, when you push those 30s, 40s, you, at least seeing that just stat is not bad. It's not bad. That's pretty good.
No, I'm sorry.
All right, how many saves did Jansen get last season?
Kenley Jansen? I don't have those numbers here in front of me right now.
Well, I'll look it up and you rant on.
But what I'm saying is, though, I'm looking at the way, you mentioned they're 9 games over 500, but the 8 guys out there have left it on the field night in, night out. They're not going to win every game. We're fully aware of that. But when you have the guys like, and Dunn's on the DL right now, but Shaw, who has just been short of a disaster. He thinks he's got himself taken care of. McGee, who's been short of a disaster this year. Again, for a closer, Wade Davis has blown, 7 saves already this season, 6 saves. Ottavino has been, if you're going to use that, he's been your most consistent reliever out of the pen, and that's not all great shakes as well. Again, it's very frustrating that your Rockies team on the field, the 8 guys, are good 1 through 9 most nights.
Yeah.
And your pitchers most nights are good 1 through 6. 7, 8, 9 is a crapshoot.
Well, we all know that clearly. Again, what has been the biggest knock against the Rockies has been the bullpen the entire for 2 years now.
And you made the point. They may get to that wild card position. They may be on the road like they were last year. They may get eliminated in the first round. There's no, it wouldn't surprise me. But the superstars like Nolan Arenado, who have been doing it day in, day out, and again, he's been, shelved by a couple of injuries. But again, the guy has got 30 home runs, 84 RBIs. He's hitting .310, and he's having another great year. All he's done.
MVP worthy. Is he going to get it? Probably not.
But I'm just saying, but he's been doing this year in, year out since he has been a major leaguer. Chuck Nasty, and again, I go back to earlier this year where I said, I don't like him batting number 2. He is your leadoff guy, and now they got him back leading off. So, again, it's another adjustment for him. Well, he's in a little bit of a slump. But the kid that has come through, believe it or not, has been Story. Trevor Story. No, you and I were laughing.
You were dogging on him last season.
Well, he has struck out 127 times this year in 141 games. So
he
has
whiffed. He likes to hack at it, but
he's hitting .289.
Yeah.
So he's improved in that respect. But again, those guys.
And again, he was more so. He's not really known for the offense. This has kind of been a bonus. Again, what they kept him on was defensive skill. Again, that's why we, at least with the last season, where you were arguing of how many strikeouts this guy had. Again, we have the strikeout counter. Again, why they retained him, or at least didn't send him down. Again, it was more of his defensive glove. That's why they kept him in.
Right.
Again, they weren't worried about that offense because, again, you have pieces with an Arenado, with a LeMahieu, with a whoever that can carry some of his slack.
Yeah, that infield.
This is all this has been is just kind of added bonus now.
But, basically those 8 guys, and again, whether it's Iannetta, whether it is Murphy, or whether it's Walters behind the dish, again, these guys are leaving it on the field each night. And then, again, it's kind of
Well, and let me get in my.
You bite your fingernails every time a reliever comes onto the field.
That's kind of with any NOS team we've seen this year. Again, with the Giants, with the Dodgers. Again, what happened with at least 2 games in that 3-game series with the Giants and Dodgers.
You said how much money they spent, though. They spent more money than the Giants.
Well, it's the most expensive bullpen in Major League Baseball, and it's not worth the value that they gave to him. But going back to the closer role, where again you mentioned with Davis having the 33 saves, not bad. Again, usually you're doing pretty good. And again, there's still plenty games left for him to close out and add more to that save stat. But I picked up Kenley Jansen's stats throughout his career, where I would say arguably at this point in time probably one of the best closers in all of MLB. Right? I would agree.
Yeah.
But at least going back to his saves, currently for Jansen this season, granted he's dealt with injuries, but he has 32 on 2018 season. Last year finished with 41. 2016 his highest with 47. 2015 36. 2014 44. Now he has had many blown saves as well throughout his career. You go to that 2014 season where he had 5 blown saves in his career, at least in that season. Take a look at 6 in 2016. At least this year he's blown 3 saves, so not as much as what we've seen with Davis. But again, save-wise though, he's getting you those opportunities, or at least he's closed out a good amount. It could be awful. At least he's had the 33. So again, Mark's
and again,
the ERA might be a little extreme.
And we're picking on Davis. So again, too, we also know that Ottavino's had a blown save. We know McGee. We know Shaw.
Yeah.
Dunn. Everybody's had a part of this. So it's just not just 6 or 7 by Davis. We're talking about or the other statistics called hold. Blowing the lead.
All right.
So how many of those, again, the McGees of the world, the Shaws, how many of these leads have they blown? Many.
Yeah.
So, again, we're going back, and again, we go back to Arenado and maybe a LeMahieu. This is the frustration part of these guys who, again, bust their heinies every night. And again, it's a crapshoot. And
guess what? What it leads to is frustration. Where again, not saying that they're all about them, but
they're
human.
They're professional.
They're human. Where you kind of go, well, I'm busting my butt, and it's not doing anything.
But
again, I hate repeating myself, but again, every time we get in the situation where you kind of single out a player, you got to humanize them and go, what are you playing a sport for? Why are you doing this? You're there to win a championship, to add to your legacy. You want to be on the pinnacle again.
You want the ring.
What is the biggest regret in Barry Bonds' career? He never won a championship. He has all these records, and again, the home run king. But again, what ultimately did he? At least his biggest regret in his career was not winning a championship with the San Francisco Giants or with the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's a situation where he has all these stats, but he was never the winner. He was never a champion. And I think that's the same situation where you see, hey, here's Machado moving on. Here's Giancarlo Stanton going on to the New York Yankees. Hey, I could put on great things here in Miami and be the star and the figurehead down there with the Marlins, or I can go to New York and possibly win a championship. I'll take that sacrifice.
Right.
Again, it's not far-fetched to think that LeMahieu and Arenado, if this Rockies experiment, or if it falters in the playoffs, if they do make it at all. Again, it's not guaranteed, but if they do falter in the playoffs again and not get farther in, maybe into a championship round, I would assume, but it's not out of the line to think that those two kind of reconsider going, do I want to spend more time here as a Colorado Rocky?
And I also think this, though, too, Nick, and we got to take a break. I also think that the Rockies right now, not thinking wild card, obviously, they've got to win the West. And I think to you,
especially of how packed up the wild card
to you and me, an Arenado probably stays if they win the West. LeMahieu stays if they win the West. But right now, just looking real quick here, I just want to run this, and then we'll go to the break here. Kyle Freeland, 10-7, 3.02 ERA. Anderson with a 4.39 ERA, he's 6-5. Marquez 10-9, 4.51. Gray, who's kind of fixed himself up. He's still 4.76 ERA. He's 9-7. Bettis 5-2, a 5.42 ERA.
Yeah.
Wade Davis, again, this is unacceptable. Sorry, Nick, it's unacceptable. As your closer, he's 2-6, 5.19 earned run average.
That's pretty pathetic.
That is awful. Ottavino 1.7, 4.2. He's 4-2. Shaw 4-5 of the season. That's again. Losing leads, he's like 6.31 ERA. Russell 0-2, 6.53. McGee 2-4, 6.53 earned run average. Those are awful. We are going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after these words right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Hop into the K-Ray Time Machine each Monday through Thursday for the golden age of radio, featuring famous radio classics such as Jack Armstrong and Suspense Theater, along with pioneers in the entertainment industry like Bob Hope and Abbott and Costello, along with many other performers who've captured our ears many, many years ago. Join us for the golden age of radio Monday through Thursday, 8 until 10 p.m. on 1480 K-Ray, also 101.1 FM, and you can also stream all of our programming on 1480kray.com.
As Cheyenne's weather turns warmer, dust and pollen can become a problem for those with allergies, asthma, or respiratory issues. And the last thing you want in the summer heat is poor air quality in your home or office. So it's time to turn to Marv's Plumbing and Heating. That's right, Cheyenne's most trusted plumbing, sewer, and heating business also services air conditioning. Marv's Plumbing and Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue, can handle all your air conditioning needs. Give them a call, 316-7634. That's 316-7634. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast, only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Delrange.
Before David Dotson started talking about putting Wyoming first, he had a few other firsts. He first lived in Massachusetts, where he voted as a Democrat just a few years ago. Before landing in Jackson Hole, Dotson first gave $2,300 to support Barack Obama for president. Then Dotson gave $1,000 backing Bernie Sanders, the socialist. And while he now claims to live in Jackson Hole, Dotson built a multi-million-dollar home in California. Oh, and before running for Senate, Dotson first had to switch parties, becoming a Wyoming Republican only months ago. If Massachusetts and Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders and California all came first for David Dotson, doesn't that mean that he's putting Wyoming last?
I'm John Barrasso, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of John Barrasso. BarrassoForWyoming.com.
The time is now, and the place to go is Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service for their annual model clearance sale of Jayco RVs and fifth wheels. This is your year to travel the countryside, and what better way with your Jayco RV from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And to put you on the road today, save 30% on their annual model clearance. Their savings are always the best on whatever model you select. Come see and take home your favorite today when you buy from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service at 6102 East Highway 30 in Cheyenne, or go online to jollyrogersrvs.com.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 54. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon with highs around 80. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 50.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk Today. You know, Nick, as we get closer and closer to, the end of the season, I know we got about, 7 weeks left, but it's sneaking up on us very quickly. And looking at this weekend's activities, as we look at the standings in the West here, you've got San Diego, who, pretty much rolls over and plays dead. But
they're going to try and upset an Arizona team.
They got the Diamondbacks at Petco, so they got 3 more games in that
series.
Give
some advantage, but it is also, too, again, you in division rivals where, all right, we're out of it, you're the top dog, let's beat you a few.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this weekend, though. The team that should gain some ground if they can are the Giants. They got Cincinnati.
Yeah, Cincinnati has nothing really to fight for. And, again, no real rivalry.
The Dodgers and the Mariners, that could go either way this weekend.
Well, both teams still fighting. Yeah, both teams are fighting for a position, at least playoff hope. So,
and they're still without Jansen.
For now,
the Dodgers. They got Buehler throwing tonight. Rockies probably stand to lose the most if they can't get it done in Atlanta. They got, and again,
well, they already got one last night.
That was a big win last night. Don't get me wrong. They're, that 5-3 win was huge. And again, they're going to come back with, with Freeland tonight, and he's been one of their more steady eddies on the mound.
But also, too, Atlanta's that same situation of, hey, they need to gain ground or at least take advantage of the East, where again they're fighting off the Phillies.
8.5 of Phillies right now, and 8 in front of the Nats. So anyway, if you look at this weekend, the Diamondbacks should be pretty solid after this weekend's play.
They should be fine, yeah.
The Giants could
gain
two out of 3 at least, from you would think, from Cincinnati.
Hell, they could sweep them as how bad Cincinnati is.
I would think the Dodgers go 1-2 in Seattle. I would like to, if it's a perfect world for me, and the Rockies seem to do okay in Atlanta. 3 out of 4 would be okay. I'd be happy with a split if they can get that split. So it's going to be interesting watching this weekend. And again, now it's time to keep your eye on the standings and check out everything that's going on. All right, Major League Baseball was busy this week because they had to make some decisions on bad things that happened. And I was right on Puig. Again, Puig, the knucklehead that he is, he got suspended for 2 games. Now, whether he...
I told you that they were going to
suspend him. Thought Hundley was going to get suspended.
I figured you'd keep it even, kind of a police mentality of,
but
you both participated.
He did not throw a punch. Puig is definitely caught throwing the slap, so to speak.
Yeah. But the amount of suspension, at least for games, I was kind of on par. Again, they're not going to suspend it for a long time. Again, 2 games, yeah, it's fair.
And you served the suspension this weekend, which is, again, you're in the pennant hunt, and like I said, you got a lot to lose. I
think the Dodgers can deal without Puig. It's a situation where once we get to the offseason, I think Puig is no longer a part of the Dodgers. They realize that he's just too much of a head case, and they don't need this guy. They can maneuver some piece, or at least bring on over someone in the outfield of going, all right, take his position. We don't need you. I guarantee it. I think that's what you're going to see in the offseason.
Bellinger, they moved to the outfield. He's doing a job out there. Let's see who else they have, because they moved Muncy to first base. Yeah, they've got you have to, as much as I don't like the Dodgers, and I'm not going to stick up with the Dodgers, they've got a lot of interchangeable parts.
They do. So what need do you really have for Puig, especially with him?
So you're saying his bat, his presence will not be missed by the Dodgers?
I really don't think so.
Okay.
I think the Dodgers can absolutely move on with him, and I think that's what they will. Again, in my personal opinion, I see the Dodgers realizing, hey, you're too much of a head case. Get out of here. We don't need your ego. We don't need your me, myself mentality a part of this team. Get out of here. Go somewhere else. We don't need you. We can be fine without you.
So Puig gets suspended for 2 games, and he's fined an undisclosed amount. I always like that from Major League Baseball. They don't say that he was fined $50,000, $100,000. It's an undisclosed amount.
What does it matter? Who cares? Again, if he's fined $1 million to $2, why not just let us know?
And again, Hundley also was fined. He was not suspended,
which I anticipated absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
I looked at the video over and over and over.
And he still participated. It's that situation of, hey, you escalated it. You were a part of it. Deal with the repercussions.
He didn't escalate it. It was all Puig's doing.
Whatever.
All right, and then you go back to Major League Baseball again. Marlins pitcher Jose Urena, and this one here is a severe one. He was suspended for 6 games and fined a undisclosed amount for intentionally hitting Atlanta Braves rookie Ronald Acuna Jr. Wednesday night, which led to a benches clearing scuffle. Urena used his first pitch to hit Acuna, who had homered in 5 straight games, including the previous 3 against Miami.
Which, in my opinion, was very wrong. Or at least, again, it seemed like it was absolutely intentional, and that's why, you had the scuffle, and there's no place in baseball for something like that. Come on now.
I agree. And Atlanta.
How about, again, if you're that worried that he's going to hit a home run off of you, bring better stuff then. Bring, again, try, do the real thing again. Play baseball. Don't just plunk him. Come on now. If you're that afraid he's going to homer off of you, or you don't want to strike to your ego about that, again, then show him your stuff. Show him that you're better than him.
Now,
how simple is that?
Again, we've had this discussion, this argument before, and I think Chris was with us when we had this argument.
Maybe.
So you got Puig getting 2 games, and let's just say both games he was going to start, Friday, Saturday.
All right.
Acuna gets suspended for 6 games. He's going to miss 1 start. I would think if Major League Baseball were to hand out a fine to a pitcher, wouldn't you say, because he pitches every 5th day, do you say you're suspended for 2 starts?
Again, talk about percentages, though, of where, again, if you suspend that guy for 2 starts, again, of how many games they play compared to the 160.
How many games they pitch? They pitch 30. If he's a regular starting pitcher,
it goes into percentages of how much percentage are you losing out of your starts, or at least playing time, compared to a position player who, again, that's going to be minimal. 2 games out of Puig's entire season is a minimal percentage loss compared to a starting pitcher, where that's 1 start is very significant. That's why it's kind of brought into light of, all right, well, especially when a pitcher is injured, of, wow, he's going to lose a lot of starts. He's going to lose a majority of his season because of whatever injury. Again, I have no issue of going, all right, you missed 6 games, which might be 1 start for you as a pitcher. I think it's a little bit more drastic than 2 games for a position player, but I have no issue with it. I really don't.
All right.
I think, again, you got to weigh percentages of if you suspend him for 2 games, again, out of if he starts 30 contests throughout this entire season, that's a big percentage that he's missing.
Right.
A playing time.
So
can't do that to him.
Missing a start is more significant than getting suspended for 2 games. Because, again,
I really think so. Again,
if Puig's an everyday player and he plays 150 games, just for argument's sake.
2 games is a drop in the bucket compared to 1 start for a guy who's seeing 30 games in a season.
But also, too, you look at a guy like, the situation here with Urena, he can physically hurt you. He can cause more. He can cause more damage than Puig.
I guess it really depends on punching power. I think it.
What about the baseball he's throwing at your head, your back, your elbow, your knee? I mean, the guys. You said it though. He intentionally was doing.
He intentionally did it, but it wasn't anything that was going to cause him.
So should he be fined? I guess my question would be: do you fine him more dollars? Or
again, the fines don't mean anything. Fines are such a joke across every single sport. But again, the suspension with the 6 games, again, missing 1 start.
You're okay with that?
I think that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Again, weighing percentages of how much he plays throughout a season compared to a position player, absolutely. I think that's fair. I think it's a fair punishment. Again, if he's missing 1 start, yeah, that's a good percentage of what he's going to miss. Yeah, go right ahead.
All right,
I have no issue.
Okay. I just want to bring up those.
I'm just saying, Puig could hurt someone as well too. Again, if he knocks someone in the head or something, or again, those scuffles could turn ugly. Where all right, maybe someone does break something or sprain, or someone gets injured. Again, it's the same thing with getting hit by a pitch. It's kind of a gamble almost, where again, percentages of where you're going to probably get hurt.
What's more frequent though, Nick? What's more frequent, getting plunked? Or having a bench-clearing brawl because
in this day and age, they're kind of equivalent. We see it seems almost like a bench-clearing brawl happens every single month.
Yeah, because it's a pitcher 99% of the time starting the scuffle. The pitcher is hitting somebody. And, a Puig-Hundley deal, that just happened out of the clear blue. Because, again, like I said, Puig's a ham and egger, and Hundley called him on it. Okay? Yeah. But Urena had it in his mind. On the first pitch, this guy's going down.
How often does that happen that it's an intentional?
Quite often. Quite often, Nick.
Something tells me that it's probably equivalent to a bench clearing brawl, or at least they're kind of on the same level, at least with cause and effect. But I guarantee you, again, hit by pitches that are intentional, probably not as much as you really think. I really don't.
Okay.
You make it sound like it's a weekly thing. It probably isn't. I highly doubt it.
All right,
but you can believe whatever.
Oh no, I know there are bounties out there all the time, and I'm just letting you know that's
all right.
Things that happen, and I think Urena you can't tell me that Donnie Baseball did not put a bounty on this kid, Acuna, as he came up, and Urena said, hey, you know what, I'm going to do it because again, you look at that pitch and you can tell. It was intentional.
You can start whatever conspiracies you want.
There's no conspiracy.
You're trying to make it out like one.
It's not a conspiracy.
I think with Acuna, it was a situation of, hey, I realize you're homering. You're not going to do it against me. Here you go. Pitch number 1.
Plunk.
Boom. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, setting the tone of you're not going to hit a home run off of me. This is what's going to happen to you. There you go. I don't think it was a bounty or anything like that. It was a situation, I think, he was just trying to set the tone, put a little fear in him, try to rattle him. Hey, here's the first pitch. You got plunked. What are you going to do about it?
Popped him right on the elbow, dude. That, to me, is that's not.
It's uncalled for. I think with the 6 games, at least in the suspension, or at least with what punishment was dealt with him by MLB, I think was fair.
Okay. All right, we do need to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We'll get ready to wrap up Wyoming Sports Talk. 2 hours have flown right by. We're back after these words.
Is your teenager ready to drive?
Come on, Mom. Let's go.
Sorry, you're not ready to drive yet.
What? Come on.
You need to complete a driver's ed class first.
The Wyoming-Montana Safety Council offers a complete driver's education program taught by Tim Woodard, former Laramie County School District's driver's ed teacher. Classes are starting soon. Please call 635-4592 to sign up or go to wmsafetycouncil.org. Wyoming, Montana Safety Council. Think safe, live safe.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Boys, I know you take great pride in being prairie dogs, but our mascot needs more sizzle. And what has more sizzle than Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos? So meet your new mascot, a sirloin steak burrito.
Taco John's new sirloin steak burritos are loaded with steak and bold flavors like cheesesteak, steak and potato, and steak and shrimp.
God, Wachowski, stop eating the mascot.
Olay the Day at Taco John's.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned, full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712. Do you have a big remodeling project in mind? Then the best tool for you is a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank. Whether you are remodeling, making home repairs, or expanding, a home equity line of credit can help you finish that project. Stop in and we'll show you the hidden value in your home with a home equity line of credit from Platte Valley Bank.
Some restrictions may apply, subject to credit approval. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Do you know what the citizens in District 5 want in a senator?
I'm Lynn Hutchings, and I've come to you to find out. The citizens have voiced their concerns about a state income tax and overspending in our budget. As a former legislator, I stood firmly against burdening you with additional taxes and voted against deficit spending. A vote for Lynn Hutchings will keep more of your money in your pocket.
Vote for Lynn Hutchings, your only fiscally conservative choice on August 21st. Paid for by Hutchings for Senate.
For 56 years, 1480 Ray has been Cheyenne's home for good times and great oldies. Also with KYY-FM, we are Cheyenne and the area's only locally owned AM/FM combo radio stations. Add that to the addition of 3 FM radio translators to serve the area with programming from both K-Ray and KYY, and that equals a lot of bang for your local advertising dollar. Radio, yesterday and today, still works. For more information, contact Larry Proetti at 307-637-0301.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 K-Ray.
For today, it'll be mostly sunny with a possible thunderstorm in the afternoon with highs around 80. Then for tonight, it'll be mostly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 54. On Saturday, it'll be cloudy with thunderstorms likely in the afternoon with highs around 80. And on Saturday night, it'll be partly cloudy with rain showers likely with lows around 50.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 K-Ray.
Couple of quick notes, and we got a new coach hiring here in town, so we'll let Nick get to that here. I just want to mention that Ohio State's ongoing investigation involving Buckeyes football program and Coach Urban Meyer. That will be completed on Sunday as planned. According to the university, the investigators will deliver a report for the independent working group directing the probe, which
it's almost like they set that up for media outlets to get a hold of it on Monday to talk about.
Exactly. And also, I came upon this story I know you would be happy and pleased with. Steph Curry says he wants to stay with the Warriors for his entire career. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Matter of fact, asked on the Bill Simmons podcast this week if he wanted to be a Warrior for life. Curry said, "For sure I do. This is home. This is where I want to be for obvious reasons." So you got to like that.
I'll allow it. Again, there was always rumors that he wanted to join Charlotte, take on the kind of legacy of Dell Curry.
He loves the Bay Area, dude.
Well, the Bay Area loves him back, and again, that's what's embraced him throughout his entire career. That's what, again, those fans love him dearly out there. But again, there was rumors that he wanted to return. Again, He is from Charlotte and wanted to be a part of that franchise again, which his pops is still a part of as a commentator out there. But again, those rumors did float around that eventually one day he would go out there. But again, nice little reassuring that he wants to stay.
He's 30 years young. I mean, it's hard to believe he's already 30.
Still
and he's got 3 NBA titles in the past 4 years. Let's see.
2 MVPs.
5-year contract, 5-year, $201 million contract that'll take him through the 2022 season. So, yeah, I think he loves the Bay Area. So that's all you need to know. Steph Curry going to be a Warrior, I think, for his entire career. All right. We weren't here yesterday to announce it, but we got word. As a matter of fact, we are going to hopefully get a chance to chat with him.
It's not a hopeful. It's going to happen next week.
Well, you know what I mean. And everything's got to work. Like the phone has to work because he's not going to be here live in studio.
Well, that's on you, at least with equipment. So
the bills are paid.
I have the guy locked up. So again, we will talk with the new Cheyenne Mustangs head coach, which was named Sheldon Baxter. He was named over at least the past couple days. He is coming out of the state of Florida. Again, coming off of Rick Thompson, who did retire here live on 1480K when he did make that announcement to everyone here in Cheyenne. But Baxter, to give it a little background, not to take too much, again, we'll get that background from him, but again, did play high school baseball down in Florida in a 6A high school program. Again, he was a 4-year varsity letterman. Let's take a look. He does also to have a little, at least, association with Mustangs, at least more so with Reed Thompson, the son of Rick Thompson, who did play with each other, or at least play at Murray State University down there, and again, will be the new head coach. He will be joining the Cheyenne Mustangs in May 2019, immediately following the completion of the Florida high school baseball season. So, again, he will be focusing efforts down there, still in the state of Florida, but once that high school season has wrapped up, his duties down there will end, and will join the Cheyenne Mustangs for the 2019 season next summer.
Yeah, because you asked me if I knew of him, and it was like, no, I've never heard of him. And again, coming to Cheyenne, Wyoming will be, I guess, a new venture for him.
Yeah.
So hopefully things will all pan out, and
but again, we will
continue with Sheldon Baxter.
We will talk with him on Wednesday next week, along with also to Rick Thompson, who will be in studio with us as well. So again, we will get the introduction to the new Cheyenne Mustangs manager Sheldon Baxter coming up next week.
Also going on this weekend, and I can't remember what year this is, but it's the WWE's SummerSlam. Isn't that this weekend?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Sunday.
I know, but how many years has it been going on? Like
31st.
Isn't it amazing? Since Vince McMahon Jr., Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., has taken over from his dad, how this thing is just a monster. The organization that he
knows what he's doing, and again, any successful businessman, which is
over $1 billion empire plus.
Well, that, and also too now with the XFL, again, he's going to be well worth tons of money. But 31st annual SummerSlam coming up this weekend, this Sunday. Again, a stacked card, and looking forward to it. At least, unfortunately, we'll only catch the replay because we'll be down in Colorado Springs to go see a Sky Sox game. But again, one of the premier pay-per-views, one of the major 4, along with Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, and WrestleMania. Again, it is the main pay-per-view for the summer season.
And finally, here on my side of the fence, a trio of former Cowboys have inked professional deals in some of the world's top professional leagues. Josh Adams signed with the
I think he's in Germany?
No, the Shaanxi Zhanggu Brave Dragons of the Chinese Basketball Association. That's a little farther than Germany.
One of them, I thought, joined a German
Hayden Dalton signed with MHP Riesen in Germany's top.
Hey, guess what? I was right.
And Alan Herndon will play in Turkey for the Sakarya BSB of the Turkish Basketball League. So congratulations to 3 former Cowboys. Again, and again, the money's obviously not NBA monies, but they do get paid quite a bit.
Well, it's professional in those countries. Again, it does not translate. It's not like semi-pro or anything like that. It's how do you? Again, it's pro in those countries, but it does not translate to.
But it's
guaranteed to be an NBA superstar.
It's interesting though. You got Josh Adams, who will be in China. You've got Hayden Dalton living.
Josh Adams, who also was a part of Turkey last year, but again now moving.
Now Alan Hernan will play in Turkey. I mean, talk about changes in your life. Again, living here in the U.S. Again, because now you see how the rest of the world in different areas, how things are going to be a lot different in your life as you play for these things. And you want to talk about getting homesick? Guarantee you, those guys are going to get a little homesick from time. Except for Josh Adams.
You think they're homesick from Wyoming?
No, I'm talking about from their regular residences. All right, we got to wrap things up. We wish you all a wonderful weekend. Like Nick said, we're going to head down to Colorado Springs, catch the Sky Sox against Omaha on Sunday. So we're going to catch some AAA baseball. Haven't seen that in a long time. We will be back Monday from 3 until 5, and Nick already working on the guest list for our program.
Well, Monday we know who's coming in. Yeah, again, she's making her return is Chrissy Waite.
And Friday we will have high school football exactly 1 week from today.
Fingers crossed. Again, we're still doing last-minute stuff.
We'll have the game on.
Oh, we better.
It'll be myself.
If we don't, it's your head.
Well, it's going to be you. I just got word a lot of that stuff that I ordered is coming in tomorrow, Monday. So
I ordered all the stuff. You don't even know how to operate Amazon, so don't even say that you ordered it.
Just got a note from them saying it will be.
Yeah, because again, it was in your email, but I had to do it for you.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Like I do everything.
All I do is hand you the money, don't I?
You need to hand me a little bit more.
I hand you the money all the time.
It was like $1 bill. What? Yeah.
These are.
Anyways, you're forgetting again. It's
these are Andrew Jacksons here, pal. Which they are not going to go in your hands now.
Which is a rarity for you. Anyways, it is.
Ooh, a lot of them.
Good for you. Yeah, and you'll probably waste it here in about an hour. Anyways, again, it is near the end of Wyoming Sports Talk today.
So we're going to wrap up our Wyoming Sports Talk today with this date in history. So we go back to the next year. What do you got?
August 17th, we'll go back to the year 1973. This Hall of Famer wrapped up his, how do I put this? He wrapped up a statistic on this day, a major statistic in baseball on this day, a Hall of Famer.
Willie Mays hit his last home run.
There you go.
Woo!
What number?
665?
Nope, he only hit 660. Oh, that was his last home run.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, you're way off. Anyways, again, hits. So, again, August 17th, 1973, Willie Mays hits 660th home run.
With the New York Mets.
Okay. And it was the last home run, but who did he hit it off of? The guy played for the Reds.
The guy played for the Reds. Tom Seaver?
Nope. Initials DG.
DG. I'm not going to